Hey, what's up, guys? It's Eli Knight here, and I am up here we're in Salem, Massachusetts, right?
Yes,
I keep saying Boston, but we're in Massachusetts somewhere. We are at Forged, BJJ and Krav Maga, right? I said that right? Okay. So Forged, BJJ and Krav Maga. I was fortunate enough here by Dennis Cregier. He asked me to come up and do a seminar, so I'm very grateful for that. And did a whole bunch of guard passing stuff today. Not really what we're talking about today, though, because he and I were just sitting here talking about some different guard systems we like to play. He was showing me this really nasty guard system he likes to play, and I feel like really crunched up. He calls it Pretzel guard, and I see why he calls it that. And then I was talking about some stuff I like to do, so we're going to share that information with you today. I'm going to let him kind of kick it off and show this horrible guard that he put me in. So go ahead, man.
All right, guys, so what I like to do is I like to get this arm across. Once I get this arm across, I'm gonna try to trap to break his ability to posture up. Then I'm gonna get up really high. I wanna try to make sure I get the back of my hamstring right on his shoulder here. And then I'm gonna keep this grip. Once I get this, I try to come underneath and trap everything here like this. Now this is the setup. Everything kind of goes from here. So if he rolls into me, he's putting pressure, trying to stack me, what I do is just open up the legs, roll him over, and I kind of like to just sit here if I can, keep all this, and then I'll go for the arm bar right away. On this one, if he keeps this here, sometimes I can go for this arm bar. If I get a full like sweep all the way up, then I'll just ride this up. And I'll end up here and I can go for the armbar right away, set up the armbar here, or I can just come right in to mount position. The other thing is if he tries to pull away, we have all this, and he tries to like pull away, then I just set up the armbar here. Or if he pulls that arm out, then I bring this back into a triangle setup.
That's so nasty, like the pin on my shoulder on this side, which is it's great because it feels like to me, as he gets off center like that and he establishes that bite on my shoulder, I'm so crunched up that almost anything I do, whether I'm pushing through or trying to pull out, it's gonna be bad for me. And those are the two things I always tell people that's gonna like help you with your passing and to like prevent submissions and everything. It's like it's either posture or pressure. He's killing both of those with that guard, so it's a really nasty kind of setup. So I'm getting swept, I'm getting my arm crunched, I'm getting my arm broken, I'm getting triangled, all of that. So that's very cool. I'm gonna steal that from him from now on. And then I was trying to show something in response too, because I always like to trade and exchange ideas. And something I really like to play a whole lot whenever I get to play in the gi is Gubber guard. And I haven't done a Gubber guard video in a little while, and I've made a couple little adjustments, so I wanted to kind of share that as my part. So if we get here, the way that I'm thinking about this, Gubber guard, if you couldn't tell already, is a gi rubber guard. I didn't make up the name. I'm not 100% sure who did. Keenan Cornelius is often credited with it, so I'll say he made it up. But I've been playing this for a long, long time, and I like it quite a bit. The way I've been setting this up recently about the last 5 years. So I'm gonna cut my angle. So this is a consistency between Dennis's guard and mine, is that I wanna get off more to the side because it's always harder for the person to posture or pressure whenever you're at a dead angle versus directly in front of them. So I'm gonna use this shoulder pin kind of system here. Shoulder pin is where I bring my arm up, I wrap around his arm, I cut underneath my own leg, and then I gable grip here. So I'm already clamping down on the shoulder nice and heavy this way. If during this process, oftentimes his gi will already be open, but if not, there's different ways I can look to open it. One way is I put my foot inside it sometimes and I just kind of like keep kicking it with my foot until it's nice and loose. When I can, I'm gonna flop this over the back and I'm gonna grab it with the hand that's underneath my leg. If I can get all the way to here this way and pass this underneath, I've already got the beginning stages of it. So I'm taking this skirt kind of material underneath my leg and then I'm gonna pass it over to this other hand. I can stop in different checkpoints and go from here, but then as I get this way, I'm gonna pull that skirt over my own leg. So this is the configuration here. Of course, it's best if I can have this foot over here on the hip and keep his posture broken down, but right now this is such a strong control, I almost don't need it. Now I'm just gonna kind of see his reactions. This is already tough for him to posture up on. If he tries to posture, very difficult. He's using all lower back to try to do that, so it's very heavy. My second hand here, rather than being looped underneath, once I get the lapel here, I'm gonna slide it underneath his neck. I'm gonna go fingers facing me, palm up this way, and I'm gonna grab that piece of material. right here, it's already almost a choke. If I just take my elbow to my knee over here, I'm gonna get the choke off of that. So he's obviously gonna start to try to resist that somehow. One of the common ways he resists is he takes that right hand and he tries to push, yes, like that. And because he needs to open that space. So what I do is I grab here and take this across, and it just made it so much worse. Now it's a Bravo choke. So I go here and it's a nice tight squeeze. I'm gonna let go while I'm talking so he stays awake, right? So now if we come back though, and what other way does he typically respond? Sometimes he will respond by trying to push this leg down. If he goes to respond by pushing that leg down, sometimes I can shove this off this way here and then use that to start setting up my triangle now. And whenever we get here to this triangle, I can almost finish it wrong side, but I'll go ahead and let go and then start to spin out and then look to lock up my triangle that way, right? So other times though, if I feel like I'm gonna be a little too compromised, once I get to that position, when he starts pushing my leg down, then I'll put this foot on the floor and I'll start to pedal out and away. As I go to do that and I pedal away here this way and I shove that hand off, I'm gonna bring this one around to the other side, and now I've got a Kanto choke, right? So that's named after Flavio Kanto, and it's where I brought both legs over, I pull down, push away, and then I'm pulling here through like a deadlift, and that's gonna be a ton of pressure for that choke right there because I got both my legs draped over him. Those are some of my favorite attacks from Gubber guard. So essentially, again, I'm going here like this, I'm feeding the lapel around here, catching it over here. I guess it works better if I have a human. So we get here like this from the shoulder pin. I shove this underneath, flip it up, and then I wrap it over my leg here. And if I can hang out here for a second while I wait and see what his response is gonna be. But once we're here like this, I'm gonna take this hand underneath this way, grab a hold, and start fighting for those different chokes. And again, off of that, typically, you're gonna look for that standard kind of upside down paper cutter. I look for the Bravo choke off of it, I look for the triangle, and I look for the Kanto choke. And then off of Dennis's guard, main things were what? You got the arm bar.
Got the arm bar, a couple different arm bars, go to mount if you sweep them all the way over. Triangles, a couple different variations of setups there for that.
Yeah, I think it's a really important concept just to keep on the attack all the time. You know, somebody's gonna pass your guard or dismantle your guard whenever you let them kind of sit and get comfortable and stabilize and posture and all that. So guards are meant to be played fairly aggressively, and you need to kind of throw all kinds of stuff at the other guy, like to be able to make them have to stop and prioritize defending all your stuff so they can never prioritize getting their posture and setting up their passes. So anyway, I hope you like that kind of stuff. Go back and re-watch it a bunch of times. And if you're up in the Salem area and you want to get some good training in, then come here to Forge BJJ and Krav Maga. They've got great crowd programs, obviously, high-level jiu-jitsu going on here, and it's been fantastic. I really appreciate you having me up, Dennis.
I appreciate you coming.
Any other way they can contact you or anything like that? Follow you on social media stuff?
Yeah, any social media, YouTube, anything like that, we're on everything there.
Cool. I'll put all the links in the description, everything like that. Thank you guys for watching. Keep on watching the Night Jiu-Jitsu channel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.